Hi, this is Scott with eTrailer. Today we're taking a look at and installing our CURT Class 3 hitch for our 2025 Subaru Forester. Our CURT Class 3 hitch we have on our Subaru today is going to have a gloss black finish, and it's going to be a powder coat, so that's going to hold up to any corrosion or rust or scuffs or scratches. It's going to be really durable for you. It is going to be an exposed tube design, so you are going to see the cross tube underneath. But it is tucked back far enough where it's really not really visible, but you can see it from a distance away. You are going to be able to see this portion of your hitch. The nice thing I like about this one is it's really not sticking out a whole lot. So say you walk past the back of your vehicle and you don't have anything in your receiver itself. When you walk by, you're not going to be making contact with your leg or your shins or anything when you go by. So it is tucked behind your bumper rather nicely. Our hitch is going to have a 5/8 pin opening, and that's going to secure any of your accessories that you have on the back. It will not come with a pin, so you may want to pick one up here at eTrailer just so you have one. But keep in mind, a lot of your accessories will come with a pin, so you may not even have to buy one. Another nice option for these is our locking pin option. With that, if you go bike riding or whatever and you leave your bike on the back while you go down the trails, it's nice to have a lock where you can lock that in place so nobody can take that off on you while your vehicle's sitting in the parking lot. And tucked underneath, you are going to have your safety chain loops, and they are pretty heavy duty. They're welded on. You're going to be able to accommodate your S-style safety loops or your clevis style loops for your safety chains on your trailer. As far as measurements go, from the center of our pinhole out to the edge of the bumper, we're looking at right at around 3 1/4 inches. And with that measurement, that'll let you know if any of your accessories that you have that do stow up or fold up will make any contact with the back of your vehicle. Now from the ground to the top of our receiver to the ground, that is 14 1/2 inches, and with that number, that'll help you decide if you need any raise in the shank of any of your accessories like your bike racks or your cargo carriers for clearance. As far as weight ratings go, we have a tongue weight rating of 525 pounds, and that is the weight pushing down on this portion of the tongue, and that will be the combination of your bike racks and all your bikes on that, or your cargo carriers with all of your gear loaded on that as well. And for gross trailer weight rating, you're looking at 3,500 pounds. And with that number, that is going to be your trailer and everything you have loaded on that. So keep that in mind. Another thing you want to take a look at is your owner's manual and make sure you're not exceeding your tow weight rating with that. So always stick with your lowest number between your trailer hitch and your manual's tow rating. As far as installation goes for this hitch, you do have all the hardware with it. It is pretty straightforward. You will probably have to trim a little bit of your heat shield to get it installed. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. If it's something you really don't have time to do yourself, you can take a look at our dealer locator and get something done locally for you. If it's something you want to do yourself, stick around, watch our video, and we'll help you get it installed. To start our installation, we're going to need to get our exhaust dropped down a little bit. So we got a cam buckle strap hung up here, so that's going to hold our exhaust when we remove our 3 isolators. We're going to have an isolator here on the back of our exhaust, another one hidden up in here on the side, and then the one right over here. So what I did is just get a little soapy water, a little dish soap and some water, and just spray your isolators. Get them all sprayed. Now to remove your isolators, you can either do it by hand if they feel like they're going to come off easy enough for you, or you can use a crowbar, you could use a large screwdriver, or even a isolator removal pliers. But what I'm going to do is just pry them off. We got that one off of there. I'll get the one on the side. Sometimes these can be a little tricky to get at, but just work with them and you'll get them. Now we have the one up here in the front. Now we just want to hold up on our exhaust and back off our cam buckle strap and just bring it down a little bit. You don't want to put too much tension on your exhaust, so we'll leave it right there for now. Now that we have our exhaust lowered down, we're going to need to get this heat shield out of the way, so we'll get it removed. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10mm bolts we're going to remove. Now we can just set this aside. Now we're going to need to remove this underbody panel. So we're going to have 5 plastic push pins we're going to need to remove. Just using a screwdriver, just get that to pop down, wiggle that loose. After all of our pop clips are out, we have 2 10mm bolts. Now, once you get all your attachment hardware off, pop it loose. It is going to be in with these 2 clips as well. Now we can just get this set off to the side. Now on both sides, we're going to remove these 3 plugs in the frame and leave the one up here in the front. Just want to take a screwdriver and you can just pop them out. Once they start, just pull them right out. Now on our center hole, we need to get this enlarged because it's going to be our access to get our spacer blocks through to our holes. So what I'm going to do is just take a step bit drill and just start enlarging that. And check it. Just keep going until we get it to where we want it. That'll do it right there. Now we need to get our hardware in place in these 3 holes. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our hardware in a kit. We have our fish wire, our spacer block, and our carriage bolt. We'll just take our fish wire and we're going to run it through the hole and we're going to pull the coiled end out of where we made our access hole. Now we're going to run our spacer block on, followed by our carriage bolt. Just thread that on to your fish wire. Now we can put our spacer block through our access hole, push that through, and pull our carriage bolt in and into the hole. We'll follow that same procedure for our front hole. Now for our center hole, we're going to do the reverse fish wire. We'll put our spacer block onto our fish wire and we'll take our carriage bolt and thread it onto our fish wire. Now we can put our carriage bolt in, followed by our spacer block. Just get those both in there. Now we just pull our bolt through. Now to make room for our hitch, we needed to get this marked out where we're going to cut this out so we can have room to put our hitch on. But basically, we just went around this area, and this is still going to allow us to have this forward portion of our heat shield to bolt up. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this cut out now. Now we have it all cut out and clearanced for our hitch to go in place. Now we'll get our heat shield put back in place. Once we have our heat shield in place, we can just come back through and tighten up all of our hardware. Now we can get our hitch lifted into place. We want to take all of our wires and get them run into their corresponding holes on both sides, and then we can lift it into place. Now once we have our fish wire out of the way, I like to start with the middle and just get our hardware on one side. That's going to hold it in place. Now I can remove my fish wires from the rest of my hardware and get the rest of my hardware run up finger tight. Now once you get your hardware in finger tight, what you need to do is make sure it is centered where you want it, because it does have a little bit of movement back and forth. Just by design, it can slide a little bit. So just make sure you have it centered where you want it. Now using the 3/4 socket, we'll come back through and snug down our hardware. Now we'll come back through and torque down our hardware to the specifications listed in the instruction manual. Now if you don't have a torque wrench, you can get one here at eTrailer, or you can borrow one or rent one from your local auto parts store. Now I did set our panel back in place, and I wanted to see if I had to trim anything to get it to install. And what it looks like from here, everything is lining up. If I just leave this tab, and it's going to go on the other side of the bolt, so I think we can get away with not having to trim this part at all. We'll come back through and reinstall our exhaust. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same procedure we did before. I like to get a little bit of soapy water on all of my rubber hangers. That way they pop right back into place. Now with our exhaust back up, we can get our cam buckle strap out of the way. And that was a look at our CURT Class 3 hitch for our 2025 Subaru Forester. I'm Scott with eTrailer, and thanks for watching.